Ride cymbals, my G's. Ride cymbals. Let's get into it. Let's really delve deep into the ride cymbals today, my G's. Let's have a look here. So what I love about drum and bass is how different producers use ride cymbals. And I want to show you one way you can make a cool ride rhythm. What's great about rides is they're so sustained often. They form a lovely background sort of texture, but it's better when they have an interesting movement on as well. And it's better for me listening to drum and bass when someone's done something really different and interesting using rides. So what I'm going to show you is how to make a little ride loop that kind of sounds like this. And the sound you're focusing on, hopefully, is this one here. Okay, and now back in the beat again. And it all started from a ride loop that sounds like this. But I wanted to make it subtle, weird, and have a different movement on. So this is one of many ways that you could create your own kind of ride loop that's different and unusual, you know? So here's the first technique is to basically get one single ride one shot. Now on its own, it looks and sounds like this. It's quite long and it's got a real sharp attack at the beginning. Now I don't really like that sharp attack. So as you see here, I just shortened the sample so I have just the part of the ride after the transient, so it's a bit softer already, and then I just put a little fade in as well, so it's like just like that, you know. And then I have that on my first kick, and I just loop the same sample across all of my kick drums for just 2 bars or 4 bars or something. But on the second one, where the kicks on the second kick every time, I actually took the ride cymbal, made it even shorter, so it starts like even later, so thus it actually starts slightly quieter than the first long one. And then I have sort of alternating, you know, long and then short ride sample, same sample, but yeah, sounds like this then. It's got a bit of dynamic in already because the first one's a bit louder than the second one always, you know. So what do we do next to make it more interesting, right? So the next thing was to bounce it out and reverse it, right? So let's delete that. We've bounced it out. Now we've got this here. And as I just said, I reversed it. So there's many ways to reverse sounds. I mean, it's very easy on Logic. You just go function reverse. There's another way on Ableton that's just as easy, I'm sure. Or FL. Shout out the FL gang or whatever else you use. Bitwig, Reason, Cubase. Hello. So this reversing, you know, I've reversed not only in every individual ride, but I've taken like the 2-bar recording and I've reversed the whole thing. So now the rides, they sort of the loud part of them sort of happens somewhere else now, not actually on the kick. So I've basically completely changed the rhythm of where the rides are sitting, essentially. So I use that first like placement on the kicks just to like start a groove going, and then by reversing it, I've just completely changed the groove of where the rides actually are. But it's cool though because they still kind of fit in time, you know. So next, to put even more rhythm into them, what I want to do is sidechain them back to the kick again and put a really, quite drastic sidechain on. So now they have a real like interesting sucking kind of rhythm. It's like dum 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 dum. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so we've created like a whole rhythm into them. And yeah, with the compressor, you know, I just sidechained them from the kick. I put the threshold really low to sort of -42, so it really compresses a lot. And I just turned the makeup gain up because it made it super quiet as well, you know. But I've changed the whole dynamic movement of the ride now, which is great. Then This is where it gets spooky and weird. This is where I add in the tape emulation. And this is where I get all this pitch effect happening here. From the flutter, it gets really noticeable, quite extreme. And even at 7%, you definitely sort of still hear it. You hear it quite well, you know. So even 7% was enough for me. I used some other things like the wow, the drive on the tape kind of characteristics, the character, making it really imperfect and old sounding. Love this plugin. I did a video on it recently, but any tape plugin will work. Just sort of changing the sort of pitch and tone of the ride a bit. Okay, and then I've just done a few extra things to process it. Taken out a bunch of low end up to sort of around 400 and a little mid-range dip here as well. Then a little dual delay. This is important as well because as the ride kind of gets to its loud part here, where the sort of reversed beginning of the ride was, it sort of quickly reverts as you get to that sort of end part. It goes back to sort of a bit quieter again. And the delay like helps me to tie over those sort of changes. So when you get that sort of loud part, the delay will then sort of, you'll hear the delay a bit more as it sort of finishes off, you know? So if I turn the delay up, so it keeps the ride sort of going, keeps it more consistent by adding in these delay tails that are panned left and right. But when you have it just low, sort of around 10% or so, it becomes quite nice and subtle, you know, and it just adds a little extra variation still. So worth having on. Then I also put on a filter freak, and this is really great as well. If I turn the dry wet all the way up, you really hear this. It's got a filter sweep kind of effect on it now. And I use the dual notch filter, and it just has 2 notches. They just move up and down a little bit, nice and slowly with the rate here. And yeah, just mixing that in on my dry wet, sort of to 70 or 80%. Gives me this more sort of drum and bass sound in a way, because it has like notch filters. They give you this kind of sweeping motion, and having that built into the character gives it just another like cool bit of variation, you know. And then finally, I took out a bunch more low end, sort of 500 hertz and below, and then turned everything down like 4.5 dB, just to kind of mix it into the track a bit nicer, you know. But then there you go. That's very nice in my opinion, and it's something that you could perhaps bring it in as a part to your track, like after 4 bars or something, you know, after 8 bars or whatever. Like you don't have to use it the whole time. It's like an element you can bring in and bring out. So if you listen sort of in context here, yeah, if I'd sort of just play it like, yeah, I'll put my little FX click in as well just for fun. One more thing I must tell you. This is very important. What I did once I made these rides and I was happy with them was I bounced them out again. I rendered them out with the side chaining on from the kick and everything, so it sounds exactly the same. But the reason I did that is because I use this tape plugin, and I actually use a bit of the hiss, a bit of noise to add like some extra color in. And the problem with this plugin is it will leave the noise running on the whole channel the whole time. So when you bounce it out, you've just got the noise then in the audio which you've got turned on, you know. So now let's hear kind of this track as a little example. It's super minimal, right? But the changes in the tonality on a micro level are what make it cool, you know, like what we just done with the ride. So let's have a listen. And then, you know, drop them back out again or something like that. Just keep the variation. So these kind of nice layers, adding in extra tonality and tension, coming in and out are what can make a track sound really progressive and dynamic, you know, and have lots of nice subtle details. On this channel, I'm really keen to just go really nuanced with you guys and show you like all of the micro things that I love to do, because it's like all of these little things that you can do, and you piece by piece you do all this great stuff on one track, and then that's how you get like the most like evolved and best quality sound of a tune, you know, is by putting all of these micro details and tricks and techniques into your music, you know. So hopefully you enjoyed that, my G's. If you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, really helps me out. Check it down below if you haven't done it already, and leave a comment down below what you thought. Thank you very much for watching. I'll quickly remind you before I go as well, have a great community over on Patreon. We've got a lively Discord in there with group events like feedback streams, so come along and join us in there. I've got a great mixing and mastering service as well. Turnaround only usually 2 to 4 days or something like that. Hit me up via email if you want one of your tracks to be mastered. If you want to really go one-on-one and go like really in deep on your production journey and have me help you, please feel free to book in some lessons via my calendar down below. And also, if you'd like any new bass, lead, ARP, synth, FX sounds for your synth, be that Serum, Current, Phase Plant or Vital, I got you covered. Check out my website. There's loads of sounds, loads of demos, great quality preset packs over there. All right, that's it from me today. Thank you very much for watching. Much appreciation to all you guys. Take care. Have a very great day. Much love.